Hi, everybody. Dr. Ruth Anderson here with Keep Up the Faith with Enlightened World Network. I'm here with Deb Goldberg and Belkis Clarke-Mitcham. We are so pleased to bring Belkis here today. Belkis is serving on Speak Up and Empower, Real Talk Faith, and she's also a co-host on a show called Speak Up and Empower, Real Talk Sex. So I don't know that we're going to be talking about sex today, but we are going to talk about faith. So Belkis, thank you so very much for being here with us.
It is definitely a pleasure. Thank you, ladies, so much for sharing your platform with me and your audience. I'm quite delighted.
We are so excited. I can't tell you. So Belkis, I live in Colorado. And our governor just came out with a statement that if you leave the house, you really need to be wearing a mask. So we ratcheted up a new level just today, and everybody is dealing with things in their own way. And some folks are really struggling, and other folks are able to kind of rise above it and just kind of keep moving. Belkis, what do you do that helps you stay in a more uplifted place during this time?
Honestly, when things get beyond my control, and a pandemic definitely is beyond my control, a lot of what I have learned by several trauma that I've been through in my life comes into play to keep me centered. But one of the things I really do is, and I learned this a long time ago, what I put in is what's going to determine my mental, emotional, spiritual environment. And whatever is going on mentally, emotionally, and spiritually is what's going to be exhibited physically. So, and when I say what I put in, I'm talking about what I see, what I hear, what I read. So I pay careful attention to the rate at which I let information in, and I choose the information that I let in. I am a faith believer, so I do read the Bible and uplifting books and spiritually motivating books a whole lot. And so that's what I tend to put in. And I would find myself setting aside moments every day, several times throughout the day, to just stop and think about something I've read, something uplifting, something that could really keep me grounded and focused. And that is one of the main ways that I really stay focused. That and really being present in the here and the now. When I'm playing on the floor with my daughter, it's as if nothing else matters. When I'm having a conversation with my husband, nothing else matters. And we try to keep, it's not that we're blocking out everything because we look at the news, but we take it in our measure. So we are putting in what we want to condition and control basically, and help us shape our internal environment. Environment could also be impacted.
And I'm hearing our Wi-Fi is getting a little bit wonky here.
Am I being heard still? Okay, yep. I wasn't quite sure.
Yep, you are, but it once in a while it gets a little gooey, like walking through marshmallows or something. But yes, we are. So Belkis, are you panicked at all? Do you ever feel yourself going into that place of panic or anxiety, or are you really pretty much able to stay above it?
I'm really pretty much able to stay above it, but I'll be honest, there have been a few moments when I thought about what if, when my husband, my daughter and I are home, but sometimes he has to go out to work sometimes. I mean, now he's at home for a bit. And I started to think, oh, my mom, one of them go out for something and they come into contact with someone, what would my reaction be then? And I don't feel panicked. What I feel is, first, I feel a slight trepidation, like, I wouldn't like that at all. Like, really wouldn't like that. I think it'll be a very challenging, because then you can't be with them. And so I feel a little bit of trepidation at the possibility, but then I realize that possibility does not exist. I mean, when I say not possibility, the possibility is not a reality at the moment. So I said it doesn't make sense to let myself go down into the dark rabbit hole of what could be, and instead I focus on what is. So I pretty much stay a lot above it in that sense, that I don't really feel panic. And I believe having a belief in a higher being, I call God, helps. Knowing that that everything, no matter how random it seems, really come together, work together in some way. And it's horrible at times, the things that we experience, but things come together, and it doesn't always make sense, but it somehow still aligns, and we learn so much. And these are the things that I focus on, that keeps me up, that there is a higher God, that I have to believe that there is, that he doesn't sleep, he does not slumber, that it could be a whole lot worse. And therefore, you know, just appreciate the good that is happening for now. And these are some of the things that keeps me elevated. Does it mean that I don't feel what the rest of the world is feeling? I break down up to this morning, I call my mom, tears running down my face, because it's as if I feel the weight of the world, of the people that are suffering and the people who are scared. And underneath the laughter of friends and family, I hear that little panicky, some that nervous not laugh at times. So it's not quite the freedom, the abandon with which we laugh and jest anymore. It is as if we're just people are just holding on by a string, and I feel it, and it weighs on me, and my heart breaks for the world and where we are at, that everyone cannot know. You know what? It is tough, but we will make it. And maybe, and this is the harsh reality, some of us will go to sleep. Maybe it will be the end for some, but make the best of what you got now. And that is how I stay focused. But my heart breaks for what we're facing. Doctors and nurses that are overwhelmed, and people just fighting for their life when yesterday or the day before that they were fine.
Right.
That moves me, but it does not pull me into a dark pit, because I'm no good to me, them, or my family if I go down the dark rabbit hole of what ifs and, oh my God, this is a disaster. I'm aware it's a disaster, but you got to find your way to stay above the fray. Just stay above it until you get it eases, and you can then start to piece by piece unpackage the impact. It's when you try to do that while you're going through it, and you're asking for a disaster, a personal disaster.
Right. I know, with my own family members, there have been times that they're like literally almost shaking because they're so fearful. And I'll stop and I'll say, okay, let's just look at this moment right now. Don't look at the past, don't look at the future, but this moment right now. Are you healthy? Yes. Do you have food? Yes. Do you have shelter? Yes. Are you in a safe environment? Yes. Do you have people that love you? Yes. Right now, in this moment, you're fine. You are fine. Just stay right here, right in this moment.
Because when you think about it, Ruth, that is all that we've got. All that we've got is now. And it doesn't make sense that we let what might not be rob us of what we have now. It does not make sense that what has gone rob us of what we have now. And it makes absolutely no sense that what we cannot control will suck the little bit of life that we've got out of us and rob the people who are around us, who loves us, of us. So what we got is now. And sometimes we feel so out of control, and there'll always be things that are out of our control. But you can control what you think, you can control how you're feeling, you can control how you interact with the people around you, you can control the level of pleasure that you get just from the fact that you're still alive and breathing, you got food on your table, and you got people who will check on you. Because, you know, one of the stories that really moved me, if I may share this, was when I read of a mother. She worked as a mammogram technician, and I read her story that it was days after that she was found in her house dead with her 4-year-old sitting at her side. And I couldn't sleep for nights. I didn't see a picture, but the words I kept me up at 2 o'clock in the morning, at 3 o'clock. So it reinforced that what I can figure what that child went through. I got a toddler, you know, and it's as if somewhere in a spiritual sense, I could almost hear the child trying to wake the mother. They didn't say that in the story, but this is on some other level that I kept seeing flickers of this person I didn't even know. And I am like, now here, this is what I've got. I don't know what tomorrow will bring. And I'm not going to worry about tomorrow. I'm going to worry about how much time I spend with my daughter today. What did I do today? When she was playing, what was I doing? Was I playing with her? These are the things that matter. These are the things that keep us focused. These are the values that elevate us as a human being. And then I'm going to connect to my creator. And I'm going to be grateful that I have the opportunity to have people in the first place, whether it's by a phone call, a text, or wherever, that I could get to, and that I could be in.
Belkis, we lost your
I'm
last.
assuming
We lost your last couple of words there. You said you can support people by a phone call, by a text.
Mm-hmm. And then I said, and I give thanks to my creator that I can be here in this moment to be of support to others and be supported by others.
Right.
I think it's for us to be able to connect human to human.
And we hear your toddler.
You know, so
Oh, that's so sweet. How old is
she
your toddler?
just came from outside. So of course, she's like, it's mama. She knows mama in that space. It's work time.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Well, Belkis, we're being a little stunted by the Wi-Fi here, so we want to make sure that what we're providing is easy to listen to. But I love what you're saying. Thank you so much for sharing with us today. And I can't wait to work with you in the future. Belkis is online with us for one of our days of transformation. She'll be presenting with us again. And we're looking forward to that day, Belkis, because that is going to be in about a month and a half. And we will have come through some fires and we will be on the other side of that. So we're looking forward.
Definitely. Thank you so much. The internet has just been crazy all over. I keep hearing people complain. So I really apologize. I do hope though that the listening audience still was able to grasp something out of it. One thing I would say is know what you're pouring into yourself. If you do not like how you're feeling, if you do not like where you are spiritually, then you need to shift what you're feeding yourself, what your sponge is soaking up, so that when you release, because you cannot soak yourself in negative and expect that you'll put out positive. It just does not work. So I meditate a lot on the word of God. That's what I do. That's where I find my strength. That's where my trust is. I've seen him come through time and time again. So I encourage people to connect to each other, connect to God, their highest source, connect and feed on it, and watch yourself be transformed even in the midst of the trauma.
That's beautiful. Thank you. And keep the faith.
Yes, definitely keep the faith. Don't lose hope. Don't lose faith. You keep trudging on. All you got to do is one step. Just one step. That's all you got to focus on, is this next step. One step.
Perfect. Belkis, thanks for being you through all of this. Thank you for what you are bringing to the world, because it's a beautiful thing.
Thank you so much, and definitely is a pleasure.
Thank you. And to all of our friends and family listening in, thank you for being here with us with Enlightened World Network for Keep Up the Faith. Take good care of yourselves, and God bless. Y'all take care.
Bye-bye.